Cool. All right. So bringing it
So
back.
yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say so if you shouldn't take it for weight loss, right? And if you're taking it and it's not, what are the side effects then? If
gotcha,
you're not,
gotcha,
yeah, if
gotcha.
you're doing that,
I
if you get
appreciate you
into that,
asking, sir.
yeah.
So, side effects of Ozempic include. Hold on, maybe I should scroll down so you guys can, for those who are watching this. Side effects of Ozempic include. Most common side effects are moderate, and they claim that they'll eventually go away. However, they do include. I'm going to the notes for this one: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, as well as constipation. Right. So those are the ones that come in a quote unquote moderate form factor. But and they say that they'll go away. But those are again side effects that you could avoid by just not taking the medicine altogether if you're taking it for weight loss, right? Why make yourself nauseous, potentially vomit, diarrhea, or constipate? Both those are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. You can either be running too much or not running enough, but either way, you know what I mean? You'd rather be regular, right? Which is consuming the right amount of calories, the right amount of food, not even just calories, but the right foods, decent amount of fiber, right? To make sure that you go on when you need to go, right? So you're not on one end of the spectrum or the other, as well as abdominal pain. So speaking from personal experience, I think I shared this before, but gastro stuff ain't nothing to play with, man. And it sounds like a large of these are gastrointestinal for people who aren't tracking. Um, it sounds like a lot of these side effects hit you in your gut, right? They hit you in your stomach. And from the long term side effects, it can lead to um, additional gastrointestinal issues, such as your pancreas making more insulin than necessary, your liver releasing stored sugar, and then slowing down the movement of food through your body, right? And those are the long term effects of Ozempic, right? So while that is what the medicine technically is supposed to do, it can continue to make your body do that even after you've taken the medicine. If you've taken it for an extended period of time, once you get off, people don't realize your body doesn't just go back to where it was before you started taking the medicine, right? Some of these effects, if taken for long periods of time, can become, I want to say permanent, but they don't go back to the original state, right? So let's say it reduced reduce the way that your body breaks down food by 50% while you're on the medicine. Even once you come off the medicine, your body might still reduce the way that it breaks down food by 30%, right? Even without the drug, if you've been taking it for, let's say, for 12 months or higher. Again, not a professional, not a doctor, right? So I don't know the exact time periods, but that's just my guess. If you're on a medicine usually for about a year, your body usually starts receiving the effects of the drug more on a permanent level, right? So there is some type of long-standing um, effects on the body, right? It might not be, again, as drastic as it is when you're consistently on the medicine, but I guarantee you, your body will not return to its original state prior to taking the medicine. Uh, so just think about that when you think about trying something different, trying something specifically Ozempic in this case outside of its intended use case. It's like, yeah, you might get the desired results, but it's like, is it worth the potential pain and effects that it can cause in your body? All right. Any questions, Corey? Oh, did I lose you?
Can't find the mute button. Nah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Nah, no questions. It's just wait, hold on. So you're saying they shouldn't use it for the long term use? How what would be considered long term use in this case?
Uh,
Like let's say you do
a
have
long term
type 2 diabetes. Yeah,
use for type 2 diabetes or long term use
yeah,
for
and then
intended with.
but both.
So you can so let's put it this way. If you are taking it for type 2 diabetes, you can actually take it for the for it's supposed to be, I want to say a lifetime adjustment drug, but like a it's supposed to be, because I mean diabetes, let me make sure I say this correctly. Diabetes can reduce in flare ups, but I'm pretty sure it's chronic. Like once you have it, it's there. You know what I mean? So it can reduce in terms of being its presence and effects on the body, but it's a chronic illness. You know what I mean? So once you got it, it's there. Um, that being said, the drug will help you maintain that chronic flare up, those chronic flare ups over time, right? So you can't take Ozempic and make sure that you don't feel the pains or the effects of the type 2 diabetes long term. That being said, if you're taking it for weight loss, you're already outside of the scope for which it was originally intended to be used, right? So I wouldn't recommend you taking it at all. But if you are going to take it, I definitely wouldn't want you taking it anything. I feel like moving it back to what I know about like supplements, to really determine whether a supplement is working, I usually evaluate things at a 30-day, a quarter, a 6 month, and a year, right? So I try to bring that across the board, right? I'm assuming they might have different measurements for the medical side, But what I know about supplements, if I'm taking, let's say I'm trying a new vitamin or protein, you need to take it a minimum of 14 days to see any type of impact on your body, right? If you haven't taken it for at least 2 weeks, you don't know if it's working or not, right? Is your body has to adjust to it. Remember we were talking about, it's like fitness, right? Or it's like diet. Your body has to adjust to it. That's going to take a minimum of a week, right? Just for your body to just say, okay, it's something new in here that wasn't in here before. Whether it's protein, vitamin, minerals, electrolytes, a little bit of anything, right? Your body has to become used to the fact that it's there. I was like, then the second set, so the second week, next set of 7 days, your body might eventually start adjusting to it. Let's say you're taking a vitamin in which you're giving your body extra vitamin E, vitamin D, etc. Your body has to adjust to the fact that you are now giving it an excess of these vitamins that it wasn't getting before, right? Other things that people might not be tracking is your body actually makes less of things that you give it an additional dose of, right? So you have to keep that in mind. If you're not going to do something and continue to do it for the duration of life, right, or for a long term, you got to be careful what you put in your body. So me personally, I do a multivitamin. Once I got on this multivitamin, I had to continue to take that multivitamin every day, right? Every day, as long as they make it, and there's nothing crazy in it, I will be a subscriber, right? I will be taking those. I do they're organic Garden of Life men's chewies, right? So you have to take 4 of them because they're chewies, right? To get the daily dose, the nutrition facts daily dose on the back. Shout out to that white square that everybody ignores. It's got all the caloric values and the actual content of what you're consuming on it. But I take 4 of those every day, and that gives me what my body is used to, right? So once I get used to that, the days I don't take my vitamin, I can feel it. When I get to work and I've missed my vitamin that day, I'm like, dang, I'm dragging a little bit. Cognitive function might be a little slower. You know what I mean? Especially as we start to
he
age.
said he's slow. He said he's slow. I was gonna use the R word, but he said is for those who's not picking up what George put down. He said your body can go through withdrawal because he's doing drugs. You're depositing these drugs in, and I was going through withdrawal because you're no longer putting them in. That's how it always works.
Yeah.
Look, the FDA, they don't try to lie to us. The Food and Drug Administration. I mean, by definition, a drug is anything that alters you mentally or physically, which is everything. But they they intentionally exclude, like food and water. Outside the fact, the whole Food and Drug Administration is a thing. So they got the people, regulating our food, the same ones doing the drugs because they both alter you mentally and physically. Yep. Yeah. All right. And then so that's where people are just taking it for the prescribed reason. But if you're taking it so you don't have type 2 diabetes, right? But you're taking it for weight loss. If you stop taking it, will the weight just come back, or you're gonna have to do the traditional thing where you have to change your people like get liposuction where they get fat again essentially because they live the same life.
This is how